Learn English from Li Ruihuan on Dialectics. 202008302219349117 19517195999 19871989200219932003. Li Ruihuan, Cultivation in Talking About Dialectics. People who are the same as you are not necessarily right and good, and those who are different from you are not necessarily wrong and bad. You are uncomfortable with many people, and the result is often that many people are also uncomfortable with you. You cannot simply judge others and judge right and wrong based on your own standards. For example, I am ugly and I don't want to find a wife or husband to be ugly. I don't want my children to be uneducated. Between countries, everything is good when the relationship is good, and everything is awkward when it is upset. This is the same as the relationship between people. Emotions can affect perceptions. A man and a woman are in love, and the woman said, "Don't you think I'm fat?" The man said, "Fat is good, concubine Yang is fat." Later, the husband and wife fell apart, and the man said, "It's annoying to see you as fat as a pig." Chairman Mao said that dogmatism is not as good as shit. Human shit can feed dogs, and shit can fatten the fields. Dogmatism can neither feed dogs nor fatten the fields. Only by linking with reality can learning be meaningful and persevere for a long time. People who think that they can explain everything, this person often does not understand. Because some people always think they understand everything, they end up doing a lot of confused things. This is called false understanding and true confusion. Li Ruihuan, Leadership in Talking Dialectics. Some people say that many people are an advantage, but this is not comprehensive and accurate. As far as leaders are concerned, there are too many people to be regarded as an advantage. Only when they are supported by the majority of people can they be regarded as an advantage. The role of the leader is to fully mobilize the enthusiasm of the majority and give full play to it. In the final analysis, the positivity of the leader is to make more people active. If the positivity of the leader brings the surrounding people to be inactive, the positivity is questionable, and the positivity is not as good as inactive. A good team must be that you are good at this aspect. He is proficient in that aspect. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. When combined, it becomes a good team that can do everything. Of course, there must be a more comprehensive and knowledgeable person in charge of the overall work, just like the conductor of a band. But there shouldn't be many such people. Some teams are not weak, and they are not strong when added together. The problem lies here. All chess games are rooks, and you can't go if you meet. There are a small number of people who are slaves in front of the leaders and mediocre in their work. All activities are for promotion and wealth, and once they are in power, they will engage in dictatorship. We must prevent such people from speculating. Rocket style may not be good, and bumping may not be bad. The mountaineer only feels the height of the mountain without feeling high by the plane. What is a leader? To put it simply, leading means leading, that is, walking in the front, working in the front, taking the lead, and leading means guiding and teaching. Only when the lead is good can the guide work. My face is full of dirty things, how can I call on others to talk about hygiene? If you talk about people on stage and people talk about you off stage, what is the use of what you say? It takes time and energy to perform the procedures, which is a bit of trouble, but it is a manifestation of democratic rights and a process of brainstorming, adding some small troubles and reducing major troubles caused by mistakes in decision making. Leaders must be independent and confident. As a leader, if you don't have confidence, how can you tell others to have confidence in you? If you don't have a strong opinion, you can't come up with a solution, or if you have a solution, you don't dare to decide. How can others follow and implement it? Some of our comrades only see the decisiveness of others in decision-making, but fail to see the effort they have put in beforehand. They only see the ease with which they deal with problems, but fail to see their long-term accumulation. There is no such a person in the world. Just open your mouth and just say it, and you can make a decision when you get it, and the decision is correct. The most fundamental problem in the organizational line is that the use of people cannot lose the masses. People who are not accepted or supported by the masses are not acceptable if you grumble for a long time. The leadership team should be well structured. A team is like a concrete structure, with steel, cement, sand, and aggregates. The steel bars alone cannot be compressed, and without the steel bars, the concrete will crack as soon as it is pulled, so a reasonable ratio must be considered. Human knowledge has two characteristics. From a vertical perspective, it is the continuity of knowledge. From a horizontal perspective, it is knowledge borrowing. The development of knowledge in human society depends on inheritance vertically and borrowing horizontally. Some things are arguing back and forth, arguing for 10 or 20 years, but in the end nothing is achieved and time is lost. We should do it first, study and compare in the process of doing it, and summarize and improve in the process of doing it. Our leaders often encounter two kinds of people in their work. One is to hold it along, and the other is to work with it. Generally speaking, we pay more attention to those who push forward, and we often fall for those who push forward. If you don't believe me, you can think about it. People must grasp the main aspects, whether the main aspects are shortcomings or advantages. It depends on how badly the shortcomings are for the work, but also how useful the advantages are for the career. Generally speaking, we must first look at the strengths and then the weaknesses, make use of the strengths and avoid weaknesses, make up for the weaknesses in the process of exerting the strengths, look at the strengths first and then the weaknesses, and overcome the weaknesses in the process of developing the strengths. There is a Chinese saying, if you want to be fair, turn it upside down. It means that you should not only think about one side of life, but pay attention to think about the other person and think about it in another place. As long as one can put oneself in to see the problem, it is easy to increase understanding, eliminate misunderstanding, deepen understanding, and achieve understanding. Some people look for the faults of the officials, and even put a pigtail on them and hold on to them. Those who do practical things must speak, do things, and treat others. It is inevitable that there will be mistakes in old words, mistakes in old things, and grievances in dealing with others, even if it is 1/10,000. As a result, the people who took care of them became the ones with the most troubles, and the people who did not work but rectified became the ones dedicated to cure people. Some people don't think about things, they just catch people, and those who specialize in catching the clerks. You do it in the front, and he looks at it from the back. They did it right. He said that it should have been so long ago. He did it wrong. He said that he expected it. Often reasonable. I often say that people in history have to do historical things. This has two meanings. Don't go beyond history and do things that can't be done, don't shirk historical responsibilities and don't do things that should be done. History provides leaders with opportunities to fully display their talents, and their actions affect the development of history, bring the gospel to mankind, or cause disasters to mankind. In the end, history will ruthlessly judge every leader. In line with the principle of saving lives first and then treating diseases, we should grasp the key points and deal with them urgently. Don't treat those disguised things as truth. Sing a drama together, make up the stage instead of dismantle the stage. Wu Song is a hero. That's because he killed a tiger. If he beat a cat, he would not be a hero. We have a lot of worries about writing articles. We wear shoes and hats. They are naked, slick, and can't be grasped or touched. Practice is not equal to theory, just as wood can be used to make a table, but it is not equal to a table. For some contradictions and problems that affect the overall situation, we must be like an eagle catching a rabbit, not catching the next piece of meat and not letting go. You can't just talk about it without practicing, like some people do. An ominous omen now is that there are too many commenters, too many referees and too few athletes. Empty talk leads to the wrong country, hard work, and prosperity. Some of our comrades are caught up in some very bad habits. They are used to sitting in the house, talking boldly and swallowing mountains and rivers with anger. It sounds like a lot of determination and a lot of truth, but they only sing, not do. His mouth traveled thousands of miles, but in the house. High talk made them waste a lot of time, and talk made them delay many things. Some comrades speak endlessly at one end of the tea bowl. If you have a cigarette, you only talk about short people. They are accustomed to say that this is not right, that is wrong, just don't say what is right. They always like to say that this person is not good, that person is not good, just don't say whether they can do it. They are not athletes, just referees, just blow if the whistle is not on the field. Whoever scores calls who fouls. If you do it in front, he is watching from the side. If you do it, he said it should have been so, and if it was wrong, he said as expected. They have scattered the fighting spirit of others, polluted the surrounding air, and caused misfortunes, countries, people, and themselves. This problem is not eliminated, and the 4 modernizations are difficult. New word. Feedback.